Hey everyone, it's Fine Around, and my name is Jordan, and I would play the meme of they can't keep getting away with this, but I don't want to get copyrighted or anything. But yeah, the Pacers did it again, and we thought it was a fluke the first time with the Bucks. We thought it was a fluke with the Cavaliers. Then they did it to the Knicks. They're like, okay, well, there's no way they can do it again, and they did it again. So here we are. Pacers are up 1-0, and the Thunder are trying to, tie the series up 1-1. They already lost home court advantage. Last video, I pretty much talked like the Thunder were, going to get a big lead and kind of hold on to it, and I picked plays accordingly. I did have some good defensive props for the Thunder. That hit, but let's get into this one. You will see images that come up on the screen right here. That's from a data app called Outlier. There will be a link in the description for a 7-day free trial for Outlier. And I am going to go to a defensive prop, but not the same one as last time. I'm going to go to Luguentz Dort over 1.5 blocks plus steals minus 135. He had 4 steals and 2 blocks in game 1. He would have cashed this in the first 6 minutes. He had 2 steals. He was all over the place defensively. Just great defense. Over in 6 of the last 7 games. He did go over in 1 out of 2 regular season games versus the Pacers. But I'm not going to let that make me shy away from this. Last time I did take Cason Wallace over 1.5 blocks plus steals. He did hit it in the first half, but then he didn't do much in the second half. It is back to minus 120. One thing that worries me about Cason Wallace, I still think it's a solid play. I think he's going to get the minutes, but I feel like his minutes might come down. Just adjustment-wise, if you're taking a look at the analytics and everything, take a look at his box score. I have it highlighted there. Cason Wallace was the worst player on the court when it comes to plus minus. I know plus minus isn't a true indicator of one player because you have your teammates all around you. Maybe he was just on the court at all the wrong times, but minus 13 compared to the rest of the team kind of speaks volumes. So I'm afraid his minutes might go down a little bit. It could go to another guard, but we will see. I don't know if he'll be back in the starting lineup. That was kind of a shakeup there. They put him in for Isaiah Hartenstein. They were winning for most of the game, and then they just blew it at the end. So we will see what they do. So that's why I'm just staying away from Cason Wallace. I don't hate it. It would be kind of like a lean, but right now, Luguentz Dort, the way that he played, I'd much rather would go with his blocks plus steals. So that's going to lead into this next pick. So Isaiah Hartenstein, his minutes had dropped during the Minnesota series, and I was wondering how he was going to play in this series, how they were going to play him. And then when he didn't start, I was like, okay, I'm glad I stayed away from his rebounds, but it turns out he dominated the rebounds. So I like Isaiah Hartenstein over 6.5 rebounds. Unfortunately, these lines have been out for a while, and this got beat up and bumped down to minus 146. So he had 9 in game 1 and in just 17 minutes, and he had 12 rebound chances. So that's a very high conversion rate for him. But as I mentioned with Cason Wallace in that plus minus, I think he could get a little less run. Maybe they throw Isaiah Hartenstein back in the starting lineup. I'm not sure. But the Pacers, they gave up the 9th most rebounds to centers over the season. So it checks out that him being on the court, he got a lot of rebound opportunities, and he converted at a very high rate than usual. I like for him to have a good rebounding game and be a big part of the Thunder's game plan this time around, where he wasn't too much involved, but whenever he was on the floor, he played well. So before I get into this last pick, if you guys could, please like the video. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, please leave a comment for the algorithm. You just say anything that helps get this video out there for more people to see. And also, I want to shout out a new app that's kind of like Novig. I'm going to put the map up on the screen where they are at. It's called ProphetX. They are also a social sports book and exchange, except you're not going against ProphetX. You're going against your peers. So it's peer-to-peer. If you can pick your own line if you want to, you can put money down on it, and that will create the opposite. And if someone takes that, then all of a sudden you're going against each other. The winner will take the payout. So it's peer-to-peer. So you're probably going to get decent odds compared to sports books because people are trying to fight to have the best odds up there to get their bet in. So I've been using it and I've been finding some great odds, some great plays. Promo code is FINALROUND11 when you sign up, and they will give you 2% back on all your bets for the first 30 days. Up to $200. So I'll put a link in the pinned comment that'll take you there, and promo code is FINALROUND11 to get that promo. And then this last pick, this was a guy that I was wondering about. So Pascal Siakam over 6.5 rebounds -140. You could probably do a 6 rebound parlay with him and Isaiah Hartenstein, 6 rebounds. So it'll bump it down by 1. I'm sure that comes around even money, or maybe a little better. I'm not sure, but it's probably pretty close. So during the Knicks series, you'll see he did not do well. The Knicks gave up the least amount of rebounds during the regular season to teams. So that checks out right there. So he's going up against the Thunder, who give up the 8th most rebounds to teams. Shockingly, yeah, really good team, gave up a lot of rebounds. And I was wondering, how's he going to do in this matchup? Is it going to be just as bad as the Knicks? Is he just not a good rebounder? Because previously this season, he had 10 rebounds and 9 rebounds versus the Thunder. So I was wondering, is it going to be really good for him? And it was. So he ended up with 10 rebounds, a double-double, and he's had 2 double-doubles now this year. So you could take a look at double-double for him. But over 6.5 rebounds, I really like where this is at. The whole matchup thing against the Knicks is true to the season rankings. And I feel like this is probably the last time we're going to see it at 6.5 throughout this series. And he should have another good rebounding game. So in a finals game, game 2, I'm looking at rebounds, missed shots, and I'm looking at defense, blocks and steals, and staying away from kind of some high point lines. Obviously Shea, I had his assist in a parlay last game, and he was in full on just attack mode, going to shoot the ball a ton. His points line is extremely high, but he could come out with an entirely different mentality and distribute the ball all over the place. So you never know with the playoffs, especially the finals, there are going to be adjustments that are going to be made. It's not going to play out the exact same. So we will see what type of adjustments they make. And I know that teams do look at things like plus minus. So just be a little bit wary about Case and Wallace. So if you guys would like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. That is completely free. Hop on in there, talk about NBA, WNBA, baseball, all that good stuff, just with like-minded people. And then as far as the recap goes, I had Case and Wallace over blocks plus steals, -120, that hit. And then I had a parlay with Chet Holmgren, who did not play well at all. And then assist for Shea. That parlay did not hit. Chet just he kind of just didn't show up. So we'll see how this game plays out. But I'm going to stick with the plays that I kind of had my eye on. I really was eyeing Isaiah Hartenstein rebounds, and then I kind of had like a queue for Pascal Siakam rebounds, just kind of waiting to see what was going to happen based off rankings. And it turns out probably could have got plus money on it for the first game and just dove into it and just said, hey, this is the rankings and all that. But I just decided to wait on it, and here we are. So hopefully it's a good game too. And man, the Pacers, like if they end up winning the championship, no one would have guessed it at the beginning of the year unless you're a Pacers fan. Just wild the way they just took that game. I'd missed the first half, and then because I was making a video, and then I check it out, and I was like, okay, well, Thunder just gonna hold on to this lead, and then they started coming back. I was like, there's no way they do this again, and sure enough, they do it again. So it's just crazy, man. Wow. If they do it again in the finals, I don't know, man. But God bless you all. It's the final round. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.